Next tonight, the Republican primary runoff for Georgia's 3rd congressional district, where former Donald Trump White House advisor Brian Jack is your projected winner, beating out former Georgia Senate Majority Leader Mike Dugan. Now, this was one of the first races called tonight by the Associated Press. Take a look at these results here on your screen. Brian Jack with about 63% of the vote to Mike Dugan's 37%.
11 Alive's Doug Richards is live in Fayette County with more on what is next. Doug.
Yeah, you know, this room had about 150 people in it when this race got called 3 hours ago. And as we mosey over here, we still have about 20 people who are still savoring the victory and wondering just how much the November campaign against a Democrat who will be an underdog will also turn into a get out the vote effort for President Trump. Brian Jack was a political unknown who smoked his politically experienced opposition after Jack won the endorsement of Donald Trump. Jack worked in Trump's White House as a congressional liaison and parlayed that into what's likely to be his own seat in Congress.
That Trump has power and has influence in what's going on.
So I think we're going to have a very clear contrast to run on as we head into the November election. But at the same time, we cannot take our foot off the pedal. We've got to push forward, push harder, push stronger to do everything we can to generate as many votes from our counties to offset what may happen elsewhere in Georgia.
Jack becomes the Republican candidate in a district drawn by Republicans to keep Democrats from effectively competing. Yet Jack says he expects to keep campaigning in no small part to keep Trump voters stoked to turn out for the now convicted former president.
The power of the Trump endorsement is alive and well, and I'm incredibly grateful for him. He's one of the reasons I'm standing here today in front of you. Now,
This candidate, Brian Jack, does face a Democrat in November. And the district, however, was drawn by Republicans in order for a Republican to win. So what will happen between now and November, Jack says, is he will start holding town hall meetings with voters to sort of prepare to enter his seat in Congress, while also campaigning alongside President Trump's campaign, former President Trump's campaign, as they both aim to win in November. We are live in Peachtree City tonight. Back to you.
Okay, we expect things to really heat up as we get closer to November. Doug, thank you. Just moments ago, after the AP called that race, we spoke with Mike Dugan at his watch party in Carrollton, where dozens of folks showed up, as you can see right there, as the results were rolling in. He told 11 Alive's Molly Oak now that the race is called, he's putting his support behind Brian Jack.
I told him that congratulations, and that I hope that he turns out to be the best congressman that we've ever had in this district.
Well, tonight we have Zach Merchant from our 11 Alive political team at the big board taking a closer look at those votes. Zach?
Yeah, and we know the results now, but let's talk about how we got here. Take a look at this. Brian Jack cruising to a pretty wide margin of victory, about 25 percentage points ahead of Mike Dugan. Though Mike Dugan did carry Carroll County, everything else you see here in pink landed in Brian Jack's column. But if you want to be a really savvy observer of Georgia politics, take a look at this. You'll hear campaigns all the time say every vote matters. Here's why. We're going to go back in time to look at the results from the primary race 4 weeks ago. Take a look right here. 70,000 votes cast then. Now go forward in time to tonight, and you see just 47,000 votes cast, which means this margin in percentage terms looks really big, but it's really only about a 10,000 vote gap, which means, like you hear so often, every vote really does count.
Absolutely, Zach. Thanks.